Hello, this is Heather Kutler.
This is Profito.
We are here today on 10 Minutes in the Morning, and we would like to be talking about three problems that are happening in the River Wye.
We've done our research and have come up with three of the main problems, with Bertha and Belinda Brown and their septic system, Sam and Janet Evening with their fertilizer and their lawn, and Granny's Granola Farm with her pollution.
Today we will be interviewing all of them. First of all, we will be interviewing Bertha and Belinda Brown. Hello.
We are here with Bertha and Belinda Brown, all the way from the region in the River Wye.
Yes, so tell us a little bit about yourself and where you live.
Well, we've lived in this house since 1923 with our family. We were, I was one year old, and she was 3. Yes, and our father was always the one taking care of the house, and he did everything for us because he was also the local handyman, so he never felt like the need to fix things unless they were broken. So we actually have not replaced the septic system since 1950.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So your home is very, very close to the River Wye.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why it's such a
Do you
beautiful
guys-
place.
So we're here today to actually inform the world and and you guys too. So do you actually know what you're doing to the River Wye?
No.
Well, because your septic system is poorly maintained and old and leaky, it's causing pollution to the River Wye.
Oh. Do you know what kind of pollution? It's actually causing an increase in fecal coliform, and that causes lots of other things like turbidity and increase in total solids, and then your temperature starts changing because the turbidity starts to change. And actually when the turbidity changes, it clouds the water, and so it prevents the temperature from changing underneath it because it's so dark in there.
Right,
so
right.
it actually decreases the temperature, right?
And because it's so close to the river, it's an increase of a risk of leaking right into the river because there's no area
And that's
in between.
people's drinking water, which
And-
is
Yeah.
unsanitary.
Even though it's fecal coliform and waste that's coming out of that septic system, it's also old and rusty, so there's other bacteria and other dangerous sicknesses that you're going to kill all these animals and plants. And I mean, it's just a tragedy, you guys. You really should.
How can we fix it?
Well, we had an idea. Well, we were going to change the septic system. I thought this is a really good idea, and Hannah will talk a little bit. Probably will talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so we know the solution to fix this great cause of pollution is to replace and relocate your septic system, because that way it will not be leaky, so there won't be as much fecal coliform, and because it's farther away, there's area in between for the waste to get caught, so it won't go straight into the river. So with the help of our sponsors, we are willing to fund you the money to replace and relocate your septic system.
Isn't that great?
We know,
yay.
we know how hard it is these days with the economy, so I mean, we want to do good for the earth, and we want to do good by you too, so we don't want you to harm the River Wye, so we're granting you guys $10,000 to replace your septic system. Thanks to 10 Minutes in the Morning, we made enough funds to do this.
Thank you, Heather.
Yay!
Thank you, Heather.
Now we
Thank
will go,
you.
we're going back to the desk in a few minutes to talk about Janet and Sam Evening. Hello, well, that was an interesting story about Bertha and Belinda Brown. I mean,
They're such great people. They're so thankful that we're going to be able to help them.
it's really a shame that they couldn't do this before. I mean, imagine how much less fecal coliform there'd be in the River Wye because of this. I mean, it's a serious.
It's really, yeah.
I mean, so anyway.
Now we're going to turn to Sam and Janet Evening, who are part of a new development in the River Wye, and they take great pride in their lawn.
This is quite an interesting story, if I have to say it myself.
We are here with Sam and Janet Evening, all the way from the River Wye region.
So, Sam and Janet Evening, you are part of some new development. Please delight all of your audiences in telling us what this development is.
Well, of course, we have the #1 lawn in the state. which involves a lot of caretaking. So my husband, Sam, mows the lawn and fertilizes it and does everything we need to have the most beautiful lawn in the state. It is also a requirement by our development to have well-kept lawns and flower beds because they do not want it to affect negatively on everything else in the neighborhood. So when we won the best really, they gave us a little bit more funding so that we could keep it more beautiful because that's another draw, is to come compete against the state's #1s.
So it's a very prestigious neighborhood for your lawn.
Yes. Well, of course.
Is this like what you would call the lawn Olympics or something like that?
I guess so, yes.
But we don't joke about it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
But I don't normally say this on talk shows or nearly ever, really, to be honest. But you kind of what you would call lawn snobs.
Really? I find that a very offensive term.
Well, we're putting it in terms that you take great pride in your lawn.
And maybe a little bit too much pride in your
There's
lawn.
never too much pride in the lawn.
So your care for your lawn is greater than your care for the environment.
Well, we aren't doing anything wrong except creating a beautiful lawn for everyone to enjoy.
We actually beg to differ. So we'd like to tell you what you're actually doing. Like I said.
What if I don't care?
Well,
What if you don't care about the future of our country?
yes, I mean, what if your husband Sam cares? He might want to be doing good for the universe and for the ecosystem.
I don't care.
Well, we're going to explain to you so you will care. So basically, because you're using all these artificial fertilizers, you're causing a great increase in phosphorus and nitrates in the River Wye. The erosion is coming to the River Wye, and you're also creating algal blooms because of the excess amount of nutrients, and that is really bad because it depletes oxygen and it can clog the stream flow. So
How do you feel
Are we
about
killing
that?
animals?
yes.
I was a veterinarian before I became a housewife. Honey, we have to fix this.
Okay.
So, I'm glad that you see the awful side of this. So, we're actually, from 10 minutes in the morning, we're actually willing to donate to you guys a year's supply of organic fertilizer.
Thank you.
That is so kind.
Yes.
0% phosphorus.
And we're
Will
also,
this harm our lawn? Will it still, because
It
we
is-
want to win regionals this year.
it makes your lawn grow even better than normal fertilizer.
It's a top-notch fertilizer, but it's also
Maybe
it's
in
not harmful
worlds.
to the environment.
Ooh.
And also, we are actually going to build a fence by the river. I know that it doesn't give as nice of a view, but we are building a fence with holes in it. So, because the whole point of your river is to you have it to drain storms and stuff like that. That's not the purpose of the river, but so with the fence, it wouldn't drain the storms, but we have holes in it, so the storm doesn't drain, and therefore the algal blooms won't go into the river.
Thank you so much for
Thank
this.
you.
Thank
Work with
you.
you.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to work with you.
Now back to us
Good
in the
job,
office.
yeah.
Wow, that was an interesting story. I mean, Sam and Janet Evening, they're quite an interesting couple. Sam didn't have much to say though.
Well, he's a quiet one. But
Yeah.
well, I'm glad they turned to our solution because basically anything that can ensure them a healthy, beautiful lawn, they're gonna help.
I mean, those lawn snobs actually do care about their animals. Who knew?
Good luck in regionals too.
Yeah, good luck, good luck. Anyway, we are going to be talking about Granny's Granola Farm next. She is actually one of the contributors to Fecal Coliform as well in the River Wye. And we'll be talking about that a little bit later, but Isabel Smith will be interviewing Granny at Granny's Granola Farm since Granny is too old to come to our studio and have an interview. But first we're going to be talking about her apple cider. She ships some apple cider all the way from Granny's Granola Farm from the River Wye, but we're going to try it anyway. Mmm,
Tasty.
Now to you, Isabel.
Reporting live to you from Granny's Granola Farm. Hello, Granny. How are you?
Good.
So, do you understand what you're doing to the River Wye?
No.
Would you like to understand?
I guess.
So, you are a major contributor to fecal coliform. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's something that comes up when there is bad things in there, usually caused from sewage. So you use we'll be polite and call it animal manure, and in your fertilizers and everything that you use to grow everything. Is that true? So that is now leaking into the soil and into the river, which is causing the rise in the fecal coliform. This is also a contributor to other pollutions like phosphates and total solids and a rise in temperature. This is all overall hurting the River Wye. Do you feel like this affects you?
Sure. Would you like some apple cider?
Sure.
I made it at my farm.
Great! Thank you so much.
Keep going.
So what we've decided to do for you is we are going to provide you with all natural, non-animal waste fertilizer that is all organic and will help you with other things. We are also going to give you a machine that will help you grind up everything and put it in a composting area so that it will all be healthy and will not harm the environment. Okay. Do you have any children or grandchildren? This will also be helping them when they take over your farm, because Granny's Granola Farm is a legend and we would like to keep it safe and healthy. It was very nice to meet you, Granny. Now back to you, Hochschild and Heather.
Welcome back.
That was an interesting story, wasn't it?
That was very interesting.
I mean, Granny's really an interesting character. I mean, guess she loves her apple cider. I mean, really, but so what we want to talk about is, so Granny she was polluting through her composting her food and
the material she used
and the manure of the cows and the sheep and the other animals, and so that's actually affecting the River Wye. So let's go over the solutions to all of them. So
with Bertha and Melinda Brown, we've decided to replace and relocate their septic system.
And with James and Janet Evening, we have Sam and Janet Evening. Sorry, Sam. We have decided to we have decided that we are going to supply them with a year's worth of organic fertilizer, and we're going to put a fence by the River Wye where they live. And with Granny's Granola Farm, we have decided that we are going to give her a what was it called again? I don't quite remember what.
Composting machine.
Yes, of course, a composting machine. And we're also going to have some men do some contour plowing at her farm. So
Which is really good for the area because it really will reduce the soil erosion in her area, so there won't be as much erosion, and that will also not go into the River Wye. So it's really good.
This is fantastic. But this segment, I think it's really helped the River Wye.
Yeah.
Even though it's just a small river, I mean, God knows we might be helping the Mississippi next year.
I know. It's a great program.
It's a wonderful feeling. I mean, thank you to all our sponsors. I mean, but of course we won't be talking about the River Wye every 10 minutes in the morning. So maybe next year we'll come back to all of them and see how the River Wye is doing.
Yes, revisit the topic.
But so anyway, tomorrow in 10 minutes in the morning, we will be talking about a lady who has 70 cats. Yes, this might seem a little bit of a problem, but not only does she have 70 cats, she is 22, she is currently getting married, and she is a supermodel. This is quite the opposite of what you would call a woman with 70 cats, right?
Sort of ironic.
It is a little ironic, so we'll be interviewing her and asking her why she wanted 70 cats. That's quite
Thanks for watching today.
Wait, we forgot our weekly joke.
Oh, I've got this, Heather. Heather.
Yes.
Why did the chicken cross the river?
Why?
To get to a healthier one.
Well, thank you. This has been lovely at 10 minutes in the morning, and we will see you tomorrow morning.